We know through motor learning research that you can't repeat your mechanics. I want to talk about the need for variability in your training. We get a lot of guys that are stuck on this rigid routine. They want to do sets and reps of the same routine every single day and do it the same way every single day. And that really doesn't work. We know through motor learning research that you can't repeat your mechanics, that every single throw is a little bit different. And the skill is really how well you can adapt or adjust those movement patterns as you go through the throwing motion. It's ironic to me that some who advocate that overuse is the primary cause of injury in throwing athletes also seem to think that you can repeat your mechanics. The definition of overuse is doing something the same way over and over again. And so we need a lot of variability in our training. We need to change the athlete, change the task, change the environment, throw in different states of fatigue, different states of readiness. We need to always warm up and make sure that we're not doing the same thing all the time. I think of it sort of like rotating the crops in a farm. Like if you grow the same crop over and over again, the soil gets spoiled, it gets tainted and corrupted. It's the same in your body. We want to change the stresses constantly, so we don't want to do the same thing over again. We want to be adaptable. We want to be able to really respond to those adjustments that we have to make throughout. So a lot of variability in your training by changing the task. You can change the drill you're doing, you can change the ball you're using, you can change the thing you're throwing, changing the environment, you can change the surface, you can change the readiness, the state of readiness of the athlete. Throw sometimes before your workout, sometimes after your workout, things like that. And then and change the athlete, changing the athlete's state of readiness, as I just mentioned. And sometimes throw with different levels of fatigue, so we're not so afraid to just let the stresses modulate themselves throughout without having to repeat it over and over again. We want to stay safe and healthy. If we want to improve, we have to use a lot of variability, and that's why we use things like the water bags and the unpredictable loads and things like that. We need variability in our training. We don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again to avoid stagnation, to avoid the body accommodating to the same stress over and over again. Constant variety, constant unpredictability, constantly changing stimulus. That's the key to long-term development as a throwing athlete.